Let's talk the difference between impairment ratings and disability ratings. So first of all, you can never do a disability rating without an impairment rating or without an impairment. So let's define what both are. First of all, an impairment is a loss of use of, or derangement of a body part. Basically, that's what it is. A loss, if I lost my arm, amputated my arm, I was in a car accident, I had my arm hanging out, they clipped me on the side, took my arm off, it's laying, half a block down the road. Took my arm off. That's a loss. Loss of use of is I'm in that same auto accident, they stretched my arm, and basically it tore the nerve to my arm. Completely separated. Okay, I got a loss of use of. Right? Can't use it anymore. Or a derangement of a body part. All injuries are derangements of body parts. So an impairment is an injury. There is no impairment that's not an injury. So all impairments are injuries. AMA could have easily said the AMA guides the evaluation of permanent injury, because that's what impairments are. Now, what is a disability? Well, a disability is what results from an impairment. Now, normally a disability is how the impairment affects your ability to earn a living. So that's what people think with mostly with disability. I know today with different groups there's overlay of language, but to separate it out and make it very easy for you, think of disability as what is the impairment doing to basically reduce the person's ability to do their job. So you could have a very small impairment cause a very large disability, or you could have a very large impairment cause almost no disability. So let's say that I had a spinal injury and I couldn't walk. Okay, obviously that's a huge impairment. That's going to affect my activities of daily living. By the way, impairments are the injuries and the effect. When we say impairment rating, we mean how does it affect the person's activities of daily living outside of work. All the things that you would do with your body outside of work. Or think of it this way, a child doesn't work, right? So an impairment would be how this affects their activities. For you as an adult, yes, you work, but it's how does it affect, the impairment is how does it affect all of your activities outside of work, right? That's what an impairment is. Now the disability is, okay, so I basically cut the cord, I can't walk. But what if I have a seated job? What if I'm a bank officer at a bank? Okay, it's not going to affect my ability to work. I can still work. I don't even have to walk to work, right? So that would have not as much disability effect on me as it does impairment effect. Now let's go the opposite. All right, so I go out and I'm a right-handed person and I'm in a car accident and I got my hand hanging out on the side window and car hits me from the side, clips off my little finger. And I lose my little finger. Okay, now it's probably not going to affect my activities of daily living that much. I'm right-handed, I don't use my left hand, yes, maybe for golf, for some other things, I don't know. And it certainly is an eyesore. You could say that, there's a, I don't look right, but it's not going to affect my activities of daily living. Now, let's say that I am a top-of-the-line, $20 million a year concert pianist. Ooh. It's probably going to affect me a great deal because I don't have my finger and I need that finger for that instrument. So that's where a small impairment would lead to a large disability, or you could have a large impairment leading to a small disability. So you have to weigh it out, but most of the time with disability exams you have to have functional capacity and analysis evaluations to determine what things you do on the job to see how that impairment would affect your job. So impairment and disability are two completely separate things. Hopefully this makes it a little bit easier for you to think with them.